This has been a day of ceremony for the President of the United States on his first state visit to Britain, and he's about to cap it off with a state dinner at Buckingham Palace. The pomp started at Buckingham Palace with an honor guard. The Queen later gave Donald and Melania Trump a tour of the royal collection. It's one of the largest collections of art and other objects in the world. The Trumps went on to Westminster Abbey to lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown warrior and later had tea with Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall. The CBC's Renee Filipponi is covering the visit for us and joins us now live from outside Buckingham Palace. So Renee, the state dinner is about to begin. What's going on there now?
Absolutely, Andrew. Not long ago, we saw Marine One, that's the helicopter the president rides in, arrive and land on the grounds of Buckingham Palace, carrying himself and the First Lady. And this is the big event today. This is the lavish state dinner. So what we're expecting to happen in the next little bit is there will be a procession of sorts where we'll get a chance to see what other dignitaries, politicians, and royals will be attending the dinner this evening. We have been told, and we understand, that the Cambridges will be here. That's Kate and William, and that, Trump has had the opportunity to meet a number of other royals throughout the day. Now, once they get seated, there will also be speeches made from the Trump and the Queen, so we'll be listening closely to what they have to say. But it's important to keep in mind that today really isn't about politics. It's about the pomp and the circumstance and the tradition. This is an opportunity for America's first family to get a chance to rub shoulders with the royal family. The royal family are quite popular in the United States, so these pictures will play really well back at home for him.
Now, the president has had a busy day, but have we heard anything from him about how it's all going?
Well, we haven't heard from him as speaking to the cameras or anything, but as per usual, he does tweet, and we had a tweet within the last hour. I'll read a little bit of it to you. He basically says, the London part of the trip is going really well. The Queen and the entire royal family have been fantastic. The relationship with the United Kingdom is very strong, tremendous crowds. Haven't seen any protesters yet. Well, there have been protesters, Andrew. There were hundreds of them, in fact, not far from here. And there are more expected tomorrow. And tomorrow is when things will really get political. It's when the president will meet one-on-one with Prime Minister Theresa May. There will be a number of issues on the agenda, likely talks about trade once the UK leaves the EU, as well as the situation with Huawei and the talk about having them invest in the network here, talks about the relationship with Iran. So a lot of those things will be made with Theresa May tomorrow. This country is in a lot of turmoil itself, but in the end, it'll be interesting to see how much progress he can make, considering that Theresa May's last day on the job essentially is Friday.
And I'm guessing that the mayor of London is not too pleased about what the president had to say about him. Well, they've had sort of a war of words over a period of time.
That was interesting this morning because that tweet, he sent out a tweet this morning mentioning the mayor of London before Air Force One even touched down, calling him a stone-cold loser. Now, this is stemming from comments Sadiq Khan had made over the weekend, basically saying that Trump wasn't welcome here and that they should never have had a state visit for him. Over the years, as you mentioned, these two have been going back and forth. Khan himself has been calling on people to protest and demonstrate this. So one more thing, Trump getting involved in these sorts of things, creating controversy even when it's supposed to be a non-political day. But all weekend he was getting involved in domestic politics as well, Andrew, talking about his likeness for how much he enjoys Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, what they should do about Brexit and when it comes to his support for leaving if it has to come to it without a deal.
All right, Renee, thank you. That is the CBC's Renee Filipponi in London.